Welcome to Anchorage, a truly wild city. Like most urban jungles, this city is plagued by thieves and petty crime. But here in Anchorage, the culprits aren't human, they're wild animals. This unique Arctic city is home to hundreds of bears and over 2,000 moose. But one bird rules the roost, the bald eagle. Expert hunters, they are perfectly adapted to life in tough Arctic conditions. But in Anchorage, the secret of their survival is trash. But city life also brings constant danger. So Anchorage's residents and bird conservationists are joining forces.
You ready?
But in this wild city, can they save America's national bird? Anchorage, one of the northernmost cities on Earth. Around 600 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle, winters here are brutal for all its inhabitants. Here, a meter of snow can fall in a single day, and temperatures regularly drop below -20 degrees Celsius. But even this frozen city can be a refuge. When compared to the harsh and unconquered wilds that surround it. Only the toughest of animals can survive these extremes. Amongst them is the nation's most iconic bird. Found only in North America, bald eagles are more abundant in Alaska than anywhere else in the United States. When young, their feathers are brown all over. It's only once they reach adulthood that they develop their notorious white head. With binocular vision, a strong hooked beak, and powerful taloned feet, they make fearsome predators. And their speciality is fishing. With fish making up around 90% of their diet, summer here in Alaska is a time of plenty. From May to September, thousands of bald eagles line the coast and rivers, picking off fish as they arrive to spawn. But when winter arrives, these productive fishing grounds turn to frozen wastelands. With food supplies diminished, the lure of the city takes hold. Anchorage offers plenty of options for a bird in search of an easy meal. From tasty scraps at the docks to leftovers in fast food joint parking lots. The bins and dumpsters of the city are like an all-you-can-eat buffet. But when birds come into close contact with the human world, it doesn't always end well. Pets, buildings, cars. They all pose a potential threat. Thankfully, one organization is fighting to protect the feathered dwellers of Anchorage from these urban dangers. The Bird TLC is a charity dedicated to rehabilitating sick or injured wild birds. Based in the center of the city, hundreds of cases come through their clinic doors every year. From small falcons to majestic bald eagles. When a bird gets in trouble, Guy Runco and his team of volunteers are on hand to help out.
Animals far outnumber humans in Alaska, so we are trying to live together, but there are issues from time to time.
Bald eagles are one of the most common birds to find themselves in trouble in the city.
Most of the eagles that we see here at the clinic are injured due to some kind of human cause, either flying into a car or a car hitting them, or a bird that tries to hang out at the dump to get a meal.
But when an injured bird comes in, they don't always know the cause straight away. It takes detective work to look at the clues and work out what's happened. Guy and the clinic vet, Karen Higgs, must assess each bird's condition. This morning's case has been brought in by a member of the public. A female bald eagle found trapped inside a dumpster. The passerby heard scrabbling noises coming from inside. When they went to investigate, they found the eagle.
Her beak is just starting to turn yellow. She's probably about a 3-year-old.
It's not known how long she'd been there, if she flew in herself for food, or if she was hit by a car and placed inside the dumpster, left for dead. There are worrying signs she struggled for a long time to escape.
She does have a few little scrapes. But this is the biggest concern, is how worn down her talons are.
Bald eagles would usually have talons at least twice this length. Scratching the side of the dumpster could be what has worn them down.
But we'll never know. She'll never tell us.
And whether she flew into the dumpster or was put there also remains a mystery. The next step is to inspect her wings for any further clues.
She has damaged some feathers up here. We're very worn, not close together, which is probably from the dumpster. But she'll be going through molt, so she'll have some new ones pretty soon.
Other than a few scrapes and some very tattered feathers, it seems this eagle has escaped serious injury. Now she'll be taken to the clinic's flight facility for the most important assessment, her ability to fly. If she can't fly properly, she'll be unable to look for food in the wild and would perish in a matter of days. So her release back into her natural habitat will depend on it. While bald eagles are renowned for their excellent fishing skills, life in Alaska's harsh environment has taught them the need to be opportunistic. Once the rivers freeze over, most of their meals must be scavenged or stolen. This bald eagle has spotted a carcass in the snow. Its keen eyesight allows it to spot potential food up to a mile away. Somebody else's leftovers are a welcome meal. These same scavenging skills come in handy for eagles looking for food in the city. But it can also lead them to some very dangerous places. Each autumn, the trash mountains of the city landfill become the bald eagle's new hunting ground. They gather in the surrounding trees, lining the horizon, awaiting the next waste truck to arrive. As the trucks bring in a steady supply of sustenance, the eagles wait for their moment to move in. But this diet of festering waste brings potentially fatal side effects. Poisoned eagles being found in Anchorage are on the increase. And they're not the only birds getting into trouble in the city. Back at the bird TLC, a new emergency patient has arrived at the clinic. And this one is much smaller than usual.
82 grams.
This tiny boreal owl was found lying on the side of the road. The first job for vet Karen is to assess his condition and look for any injuries.
So I would like to check his head and his eyes.
Owls tend to look at the ground when hunting, so head impact injuries are common.
That eye's not too bad. This is the one that's pretty damaged.
From the initial inspection, it appears the owl most likely flew into a car or a building.
Okay. All right.
Karen is concerned the impact may have caused some brain damage. A wild owl like this would usually be aggressive, protecting itself from any human contact.
Let me just see how his movement is.
But this little owl is yet to show any normal reactions.
Looks like he was favoring his right side.
If he was hit by a vehicle, he's lucky to be alive. Cars and trucks kill as many as 340 million birds on US roads every year. As human development spreads out further into wild areas, birds come face to face with one of the greatest urban dangers. Being nocturnal hunters, owls are frequently hit by cars. Powerful headlights shining into their sensitive eyes can temporarily blind them. And their light weight also makes them prone to being sucked into the draft of large speeding vehicles.
To that left eye.
For this little owl, the next few days will be critical. Now he's at the clinic, he'll receive the right medication to heal his wounds and relieve any pain.
One more. Right into the mouth.
If he hadn't been found, it's unlikely he would have survived.
Okay. It looks like he stood in his water bowl.
Yeah.
He does respond when you touch or hold him. He's got some normal response in there.
This reaction is a very positive sign. He'll be watched closely by the clinic staff, and when fully recovered, he'll be released back into the wild. Winter in Alaska is harsh and unforgiving. At this time of year, the city becomes a magnet for all kinds of creatures, drawn in by the promise of food and shelter. For some, a prize spot is hard to come by, but others are lucky. Thousands of ducks gather at Westchester Creek. where the water has been warmed on its journey under a local housing development. This is one of the few patches of ice-free water for miles. A perfect winter refuge. Ravens are the bird commuters of the city. They make their way in from their roosts each morning, spending their days dumpster diving. But the trash they spread around town doesn't make them popular with the locals. Even the carnivorous birds can find something suitable here. In the wild, these powerful birds of prey are capable of killing deer. And here, in Anchorage, reports of cats and dogs being attacked are common. But even a bird as powerful as the bald eagle can fall victim to the city's many dangers. The Alaska Zoo provides a home for injured or orphaned birds found in the city. Jim Rutkowski is the keeper in charge of the 3 resident bald eagles.
Working with certain animals all the time, you kind of pick up on their mannerisms, so you can pick up right away whether there's something wrong with them.
Building up relationships with the birds is vital for Jim.
Hi, Luco.
And gaining their trust has allowed him to get closer than a human normally could to these wild raptors.
Hooligan, this is one of your favorites. You betcha.
It's kind of nice to be able to get really up and close to an eagle and just to be able to see how majestic and beautiful they really are.
Hi, sweetheart. Okay, buddy.
The other 2 eagles at the zoo, Tiska and Ike, were both found injured in the city.
Our oldest resident at the zoo is Tiska, our bald eagle, and she's 43 years old.
I know, you're such a sweet girl. You're my favorite girl, aren't you? And you know it.
We found her roaming just one road over from the zoo. It looked like she was undernourished at the time. She didn't have enough muscle development in her wings to have any flight capability.
I see that.
Tiska was found in the depths of winter. Jim believes she may have come into the city, but was struggling to find enough nutritious food to survive.
You look beautiful. Yes, you do.
She was brought to the zoo to be rehabilitated and has been cared for here ever since.
She's really vocal. You know, unlike a lot of eagles,
Boy, you're talking up a storm. Yes, you are.
she'll give you her piece of her mind anytime you're around.
Yes.
We have another bald eagle. His name is Ike. He came to us back in 2004.
Ike came to the zoo with a broken wing. It's thought his injury may have been the result of an impact with a plane.
When he was found that way, it was impossible for him to have any sort of flight ability, so there was no way he could be released back into the wild. They had to end up doing a partial wing amputation on him.
When birds and aircraft collide, the results can be disastrous. 9,000 birds are struck by aircraft in the United States every year. And very few of them survive. But it's not just dangerous for the birds. Bald eagle strikes have caused engine failure, bringing down entire planes. With over 25 airports within the city limits, including float plane lakes, cargo terminals, and even Air Force bases, Anchorage is one of the busiest cities in the States for air traffic. But just 2 kilometers from where these jets take off lies the favorite foraging site of Anchorage's bald eagles. City officials at the landfill have decided to take a stand. they can't cover the trash quick enough to keep the bald eagles at bay. Not only are the birds at risk of poisoning, but with a far more dangerous man-made threat nearby, it's time they were moved on. With up to 300 birds gathering at the landfill each day, this is a full-time job. As bald eagles are protected in the United States, a trained government enforcer has been called in. But it's not easy to deter birds of this size, especially ones so intent on finding a meal. So to try and save the scavenging eagles, he's going to use a clever scare tactic. But this gun doesn't fire bullets. These firecrackers are designed to scare the eagles away and keep them safe from harm. For now, it's keeping things under control. But as long as eagles remain scavengers and humans throw away tasty scraps, America's national bird will continue to feast on Anchorage's trash. Across town, at the Bird TLC's flight facility, the bald eagle found in the dumpster is about to get her first chance to fly again. With a wingspan of up to 2.5 meters, bald eagles require a large amount of space to spread their wings. The better shape they're in when they leave here, the better chance they have for survival in the harsh Alaskan climate. Volunteer Jim looks after all the birds at the flight facility
Your new home here.
and helps get them readjusted to life in the wild.
Okay, here we go.
It's time for him to assess the eagle found in the dumpster.
You gonna fly for us? You gonna fly for us? That's a good job. That's a good job.
Her first flight is a small one.
Talk to me. Yeah. Good job. Good job.
But with Jim's gentle encouragement, she soon gets moving.
Good job.
Her willingness to attempt to fly is a great sign.
Fix those wings.
For the next few months, Jim will help encourage her confidence to fly and build back her physical strength.
Good job. Good job.
If all goes well, come spring, she'll be released back into the wild. More than any other bird, bald eagles have mastered the extremes of life in Alaska. These supreme hunters of the wild turn crafty scavengers in the urban jungle. But life in the city comes with its own risks. Thanks to the people of Anchorage, help is never far away.
You're my favorite girl, aren't you?
But these aren't the only animals in need of assistance. With so many wild species roaming these city streets, another conflict could be just around the corner.